Greetings, viewers! Night here, bringing you another How Not to Commentate. Well, it seems we have a repeat offender today. Sloth Boy for Nihilistic Snake. If you're part of the slideshow commentary community, you need no introduction to Snake. But if you're new, Snake has been part of the CC since 2007. He's a male feminist and fancies himself a political commentator. Unfortunately, his political commentaries happen to be the worst videos on his channel. And it's such a video that we'll be looking at today. On May 30th, Snake did a commentary on some guy named James Alsop, who did a video on abortion. Yeah. Now, I don't have any strong views on abortion, so I'm not going to do this with a bias. And fortunately, we're not going to be focusing on the bulk of that video either. No. Instead, my focus will be on Snake's attitude at certain points in this commentary. So without further ado, let's begin.
I don't really tackle a lot of heavy-duty shit, mostly because whenever I do, something goes wrong. I know that makes me sound like a coward for going after some smaller fish, but really all it is just me picking my battles. But after a while, I gotta challenge myself, so today I'm gonna go for the big fish in the lake, that being James Alsop. If you're wondering who he is, I'll explain. James Alsop is an alt-right YouTuber who does podcasts and interviews and shit with his Nazi buddies about Nazi stuff.
34 seconds in, and Snake calls his targets Nazis. Oh, I can tell we're gonna have tons of fun. Well, okay, targets. Since James's Nazi buddies don't really have anything to do with this video. But damn, Snake. You're letting your bias towards the alt-right show, and that's not a good thing.
He's pretty much a more racist version of Steven Crowder.
Who? Snake, not everyone is as politically informed as you are. And I doubt a whole lot of people who are in the community you're a part of, aside from Youngblood Fantasy, Pontus Sprocket, and Space Guru 5, would get these references. And how is James racist exactly? If you make a positive claim about your target, you actually need to show proof of your claim, not just go take my word for it.
Last week, many Americans were horrified when they heard testimony from lawmakers in Virginia and New York about proposed changes to each state's abortion law.
Horrifying sexist old white man is kinda the idea here, pal.
Considering you left in that entire visual demonstration about how abortions are performed, I mean, that's still something I need to see. I honestly don't blame people for finding it horrific.
Was passed to the applause of feminists and the far left. The New York law allows for abortion up to the point of birth if a doctor is willing to suggest that having the child poses a risk to the woman's emotional health.
You clearly have the statute where it says it includes emotional health.
Wanna re-record that line? Of course not. This is something Snake does quite often with his videos. He'll stumble over his words, but rather than cut them out and do a retake, he'll just leave them in. I've been told he probably thinks that because this happens all the time in real life, that people won't really care, making it clear he doesn't care if people can take him seriously despite how many times he does it, or how many times people have pointed this out. But Snake, this is a recorded video where you are attempting to analyze the statements made by a bigger content creator. At least some level of professionalism is required.
At the end, we'll talk about how broken and backwards our country has become, as evidenced by the phenomenon where those that defend literal infanticide, the murder of children, are treated as respectable political voices, and those that condemn them are marginalized and attacked by the powers that be.
You're not marginalized. You're just being rightly criticized for being clueless idiots, especially when you don't even know what infanticide actually is.
And you're gonna tell what it actually means, right?
Green is not a creative color.
Oh, never mind then, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna do what Snake should have done and read off the definition. Fuck you, Snake, for making me have to do this. Infanticide, noun, the crime of killing a child within a year of birth. Second definition, a person who kills an infant, especially their own. I'm not going to say that applies here, but the point is, I shouldn't have had to do Snake's legwork for him, especially when looking up this definition only takes a minute on Google.
Boom. 2 states ban abortion throughout the entire 3rd trimester, and 24 states ban abortion after a certain number of weeks. 17 of those 24 ban abortion after the 20th 22-week mark because that is where the baby can feel pain. Now, I know those numbers may seem abstract. It's probably hard to relate to these numbers if you don't have a frame of reference. 20 weeks, 22 weeks, 40 weeks. What does it all mean? I know that I really had no idea about stages of pregnancy until experiencing it firsthand with my own wife and child. Let me tell you, development in the womb happens a lot faster than you would expect. I first felt kicking before the 3rd trimester, at 20 weeks, and in most states, at that point, abortion would probably still be an option on the table. Until this recent controversy over late-term abortion, I wasn't aware of exactly how abortion was conducted. Unlike many conservatives or those on the right, I never went through the intense pro-life phase where you consume all the information you can find about abortion and abortion procedures. Until recently, pro-life politics haven't mattered very much to me.
I can only assume it's because you realized you weren't sexist enough. Also, there's no such thing as pro-life. If you were pro-life, you'd be advocating adoption for the thousands of kids in foster care who get ignored daily. You'd be helping out starving homeless children. You'd be actually doing something productive with your time. You're not only anti-woman, but pro-lifers are actually pro-birth. You don't care what happens to the kid once it's born. You just want to control women.
Ooh, Snake, you gonna prove James is a sexist, doesn't care what happened to the fetus? Or are you just spitting venom at someone with a political stance you don't agree with? Also, unless James does something you deem productive with his life, you refuse to believe that he is pro-life. How do you know he doesn't do anything productive? You're just making assumptions about a man's personal life because he said something in a video that rustled your man panties. I call them manties. But wait, it gets better. At the timestamp you see on the screen now, Snake says this.
Just die for the sake of humanity.
Yeah, Snake, that's actually really scummy of you. And it won't get anyone on your side. In fact, your comment section is full of people who feel this has to be like your worst this year. But if your response to Kind is any indication, you really don't seem to give a shit. So long as you can show that old writer what for. Like I said, Snake's been here since 2007, and in that time he's done nothing but get the reputation as one of the most disliked people in the CC. Now Snake claims he doesn't care, but Snake, you should know that telling your target to die really isn't doing you any favors. Keep your edgy persona, no matter how much it seems to actually hinder your growth. Another strike against this video is you intentionally try to make things look as bad as possible. And intentionally trying to make your target look bad is really a disgusting tactic. These are two of the reasons people have been saying that your political commentaries are you at your worst. And you seem unable or unwilling to put aside your political biases and actually analyze what your target is saying. But hey, the definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome each time. Anyways, with all that said, this is Night I Die saying thanks for watching and share your thoughts with me.